Good morning, everybody. GM. Welcome to Money Monday. All right, to another fresh week. And time to make a difference for others. We do. So, GM, welcome. Welcome. There we go. All right, more people joining. It's working. All right, quote of the day. Everyone has inside them a piece of good news. The good news is you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. By Anne Frank. Everyone has inside them a good piece of news. The good news is you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. You really don't know. You have an inkling, you have an idea, but we are such powerful beings, and the potential is enormous for what we can create, that economics is just the beginning of it. But we could start with economics, right? Jim Rohn points out that it's a lot easier to measure economics because we could just look at the scoreboard. But other things are a little more challenging to measure. The important thing is that you are a creator. You can create pretty much anything, and we can get into that. One thing I did want to point out is the update on the back office here. We have our live EDU, live education week coming up. I guess it's not a week. It used to be a whole week at a time. So that's old habits. And then the State Department of Education said that if you're going to host classes more than 3 days in a row, you have to register as some other type of education, something, and pay them a fee to be classified as something else, essentially white-collar extortion. And so instead of paying those fees and all that goofiness, we just went to 2-day, 3-day education weeks instead of 5 days in a row. Anyway, random fact for you. There is a reason behind everything that is done at corporate. So that's good news. Anyway, this Friday, how many of you are planning on going in person? How many of you are planning on sending a guest? How many of you are going to catch the live stream? I know that a few people were asking over the weekend about how to get guests there. Since it's not a register guests on the calendar type of event, you just have to go or send an ICM, send somebody that can meet your guests. Let's say you have work or something and you can't go. Then call an ICM who you know is going and say, hey, will you look out for this person? Essentially, the corporate studio is so big, and we don't want people wandering around there's Studio A, Studio B, the customer service department. There's all the executive offices in the main office, in the main building. And in the past, we've just had guests who were sent, but there was no ICM there to watch out for them. And they just started wandering around the office, going into different areas of the building. So anyway, we cannot have that. So send your guest. 9 out of 10 times, Richard's at the live events, live recordings. So you could just message him if you're not able to go in person. Hey, Richard, I got this guest. They're going to be there for the morning session or the afternoon session. And they can't wait to meet you. And then be sure to edify whoever it is that you're meeting or that you're sending them to. So if you are sending them to Richard or to Mitch or whomever, make sure you're edifying them. Richard's a successful real estate investor. He's got a big heart. He tries really hard to help a lot of people. He's experienced. He's made millions of dollars. I think you could learn something from him. So definitely say hi, shake his hand, get to know him. And then that would be part one. And part two is you got to set up a follow-up, whether you meet up with them Saturday morning or whatever, or over a Zoom, preferably in person. Set it up, show them what we're offering, and then smack it out of the park with the follow-up. So that's what we got coming this week. So some of you will be getting orders, by Saturday morning, you'll be putting orders in the system. Some of you will be doing it at the event. So any questions about the Friday event with corporate? GM Tim, Gilda, Scott, Bill, Carla, hi everybody. Lonnie, Emily, Frankie. Hey, we got iPhone and Michelle. Awesome. All right, and a big shout out to our top ICMs for the week. Congrats to Mike and Bree being in the #1 position. Woohoo! Richard #2. Mike and Magali Saunders out of the Pocatello team, #3. John Chavis, #4. Well done, John. Janine Best needs her picture. Someone tell her. In the #5 position, #6, Denise Vance from the Idaho team. Well done, Denise. #7, Mitch and Maley. They are always in the top 10 somewhere. So good for them. Well done. Coulter Hansen from the Idaho team. #8, Dave and Denisha from Vernal. Who would have guessed Vernal would be on the map? But when you have the right people running the show with a clear vision, it doesn't matter what city you're in. So well done, Denisha. And in the #10 spot, Justin Bromwell from the Idaho team. It's working. Well done. Okay. Also wanted to make sure everyone knew about the property tour that's happening this Wednesday in the Salt Lake area. That's with Alinda, so please register here so we know how many people are coming. And then we got the live education coming up this Friday, and then we have a talent show Christmas party coming. So the Investor Secret Network and First Flip Challenge team has put together an event. It's December 13th, 2 p.m. and it's going to be awesome. Christmas party and talent show. Some of these people, you have no idea their secret talents, so you get to experience that. You do need to sign up, register. Please follow the links in here. If you're not a part of Investor Secret Network, let me know. I'll get you the link. We'll get you signed up. First month is $1, and the OES is $97 after that. And there's a lot of great stuff happening inside here. So anyway, make sure you take advantage of all the things that are in front of you. Try harder, do more. You'll be impressed with yourself. So anyway, there's that too. Put that down on your calendar, December 13th. So we're about 3.5 weeks away from that. Sweet. Cool, cool, cool. It's working. All right. Now, I know a lot of you had, just gonna get my iPad up in here. We're gonna do some drawings in just a second. Maybe. Okay. In the meantime, we're going to go over, got some chats. Let me make sure I'm keeping up with everybody. Live stream, live stream, live stream. Why color extortion? Yep, you got it. Live stream. Okay, cool. Population of 5. Yep. Yep. Are you doing some traveling, Deborah? Come hang out. It's a crazy time on the farm. November is harvest season, right? You harvest stuff at September and October out of the field, and then you harvest your animals in November and early December. So I'm trying to get it all done this month. That way we can really focus hard for January, or for December, January, and February, and make the biggest bang out of the E3 that's coming up for spring. There'll be some big announcements about that very soon. They've put their thinking caps on. They've made this next round of E3 even better, more impactful, touching your heart. It's great to touch your mind. It's great to touch your intellectual side of what you do, but you also have this energetic side, this feeling, emotion side, which we've talked about a lot on this call, that needs to be fed also. And so there'll be some more opportunities for that, more connection, deeper dive into some concepts. It's going to be awesome. So the spring E3 is coming up. Anyway, self-confidence formula. This is a daily. Do you have it memorized yet? If not, let's practice. Number one, first, I know I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I understand that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek some expression through some practical means of attaining the object or position I desire. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I've clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim, and I will always work until I develop sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that wealth or position can long endure when built upon truth and justice. I will engage only in transactions that will benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve them. I've eliminated hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism, and I developed a love for all of humanity, for I know that a positive attitude towards others will always bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions, so I will become a self-reliant and successful person. So GM to that. So two things are jumping out at me this morning about this. I don't know if you have just enjoyed me reading it or if you've really discovered what the power is behind this, but I need you to pay attention to this right here. I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim. See, I think some of you aren't memorizing this or aren't doing this 60-second daily exercise because you haven't done parts of it to make it work, meaning the definite chief aim. And then also thinking of the task of the person that I intend to become and creating a clear mental picture of that person. It's great to talk about making millions. It's great to talk about having a portfolio with X properties in it. But all of those are byproducts of the person that you are becoming. And if you don't create an intention around the person you're becoming, who knows what you're going to be? You leave it up to MSNBC and Fox News to tell you how to be. What a dangerous way to live. I mean, some people are risky, but I'm not that risky. All right, every night before I go to bed, first thing in the morning, and for the last 5 weeks. You are amazing. Amazing. Okay, so some of you haven't done the definite chief aim thing yet. And you think, I'll get to it. I'll figure it out. One day when I have some time, I will do the definite chief aim. But if that's your approach, then your definite chief aim is to delay your definite chief aim. And then you get into this delay thing. When it's better, I'll make time for a goal. When it's easier, when there's less stress, when there's more free time, when there's more money, when. Definite chief aim. If you are struggling with the definite chief aim idea, I get it. It's one of those things that is kind of big, and most people don't talk about it, right? Most people out in the world, the NPCs, the normies, are not consciously creating their life. They think they are. They're on the hamster wheel. They're running around, spending all kinds of energy, but not getting close to what they want. It's because they don't have a definite chief aim. The DCA, sometimes we'll talk about DCA, definite chief aim. If you're struggling with the DCA, one thing you could do, one framework is that the DCA should include everyone's well-being. Everyone, okay? Everyone on the planet. Your definite chief aim should include everyone's well-being. So if you're just frazzled with what to put and how to describe it, then just right now, your definite chief aim is everyone's well-being. And then as you start to think about that, who's the person I need to be and become in order to create well-being everywhere I go? And then, of course, under the umbrella of well-being is economic well-being, relationship well-being, physical well-being, and then you can start to concentrate on those subcategories. But you got to have a definite chief aim, or you are in the 99%. And we know what they get. Okay. So some of you, definite chief aim is clear. I can see it in your actions, in the results, but some of you have not. And you need to get clear on the person that you are intending to become. One good thing is right here. One thing you're intending to become is a self-reliant and successful person. Self-reliance, so important. I mean, that's one reason why we're doing the farm thing, why we're doing real estate, why we're doing almost everything is pointing back to self-reliance. It's great that the government's there. It's great that they're offering programs. That's great. I want to be in such a position that I can let others take that and I can be self-reliant. So when we analyze the difference between a $50,000 a year earner and a $500,000 a year earner, one major difference is their self-confidence. So I think we have hit that point. So GM to that. All right, now I'm going to pull up a little worksheet here. Let me get this opened.
I'm sorry, Michael. Could you repeat that? My phone went out just as you stated what the difference was between a $50K and $500K earner was. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. The major difference is self-confidence. They know the thing is going to work. It's not the comp plan is different for somebody, or the training is different, or the market is different, or customers are different, or the economy or politics are different. People keep trying to blame all these other little pieces, but really what it comes down to is the confidence to get what you want out of life. And sometimes when I try to describe it to people who haven't researched it a lot, it sounds kind of funny. Like hocus pocus, right? Like you're just gonna say some things and then they're gonna happen. Like some of my friends are just too literal. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, kind of is that literal also. Like we're going to manifest our reality. We're in a let me find this thing. Hold on a second. I want to pull this up right here. Pulling this up. So we've been doing some challenges inside of our next challenge, the next marketing challenge, the 12-week challenge. And I just want to put that out there. Some of you who are considering doing it next time, great. Those of you who are in it now, fantastic. These things are going to be on the final quiz. Openers, ABCs, ways to find the money, the formula. Then what we talked about last Super Saturday, the 4 success levers, money-making activities, levels, learning, core beliefs. Then this week and next, we're going to be going into more and more scripts, making sure that the scripts come out naturally, normal, and that, you know, core beliefs are coming through that too, that you're doing them a favor. All right, so speaking of scripts, okay. If you really want to make the presenter in your room happy, make their job easier, and make everyone way more money, please follow this formula at the end of your workshops, whether they're property tours, cash flow games, intensives, accelerators, doesn't matter. Okay, and real quick, when I'm sitting in the room and I'm watching a presenter, even though I know what they're going to say, I still am taking on the mindset of this is new, this is exciting, this is fresh, this is valuable, this is useful for my guest, and my guest is sitting next to me. I don't stand in the back of the room. I don't go to a different room, even though I want to go to the AIT study group. If my guest shows up, I'm with my guest. You're gonna make 10 times as much money that way. Seriously, because you can guide their experience. You can make them focus on different things throughout the event. And then one thing I would do at the end of the meetings too is when different ICMs are walking past the hallway, the meeting rooms, different areas, I would just, hey, Susie, did you get your combo? Yes. Are you happy? Yes. Okay, thanks. And I'd do that 5 or 10 times throughout the night. Hey, did you get your combo? Yes. Are you happy? Yes. Okay. And then, all right, Bill. All right, Fred, whoever. All these people got it and they're happy. I promise you, when you get it, you will be too. Let's go find the money. So be a part of the presentation. So here's the simple script. It's 7 lines, but you have to be intentional with it because the way our brains unfold concepts is through questions, and you're trying to get them to a concept of where they're going to be Renatus students and real estate investors. So the way you're questioning it will determine how they make their decisions. Quit goofing around and trying to shoot from the hips. That's okay. You're not a cowboy, neither am I. Let's use the scripts. Let's follow the targets. Let's fill in the formula. So here we go. What to say after the presentation. You are going to say, so what did you like best about what you saw tonight? Now, if you are extra, I don't know extra what, but if you are extra intentional about being a marketer and helping your customers, this word here, saw, would be felt or heard. So it could be 3, or saw, right? When you're prospecting, when you're meeting a new guest and you're getting to know their personality traits, their learning styles, their language habits, what we like to say their drive or whatever. If we're in the genius environment, then we're talking about their learning preferences. People are visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. So they'll say things, they'll tell you in their language what they prefer when you are describing it to them. So they'll say, yeah, I want to come see what you're doing. I would love to see how it works. I want to get a vision of what's going on. They're telling you that they're visual people. If someone says, yeah, I'd love to hear what you have, I'd love to hear all about it, then they're auditory or they're verbal people. So And then the last one would be kinesthetic. It'd be feel. Come meet the people. Come feel the connections. This is come shake some hands, have some laughs, and you're describing the physical feelings about being in the room. So what I'm saying is, when you're on the phone, when you're out meeting people, and you hear them pick a see, a feel, or a feeling, or hearing, the rest of your conversation with that person, you should be using that. So if someone says, I want to see it, come and see it. What did you see tonight that you like best? If they're very visual people, then you're going to stick with see. But if you've already determined that they're auditory, then you're going to say, what did you like best about what you heard tonight? Okay. They won't even know what you're doing, but you will be speaking directly to their subconscious mind because they are visual people or they are auditory people. And now you're putting that, it's one less thing for them to worry about, so they can pay attention to you. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down about? I mean, we haven't even finished the first sentence of the first line on the script. It's what did you like best about what you heard tonight? What did you like best about what you saw tonight? What did you like best about what you felt tonight? So those are the three varieties. Make sure that you're paying attention to their language style. Ah, I see what you mean. Oh, it just dawned on me. Okay, these different visual or auditory. Kinesthetic is the least likely. It's like 40% visual, 40% auditory, and then 20% kinesthetic. So chances are 80% chance you're going to get verbal or hearing type of people. Is this helpful? Is this making sense? Sweet. Cool. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so they're going to tell us exactly what to say back to them. They're going to say, I really like the, and we only have a few things for them to pick, right? I really like the breakout groups. I like the community. I like the comp plan. I like the velocity banking. I like the tax. I liked that you guys knew each other. That's what hit for me. When I went to my first meeting, there were 8 people there. What I like best about what I saw is that everybody knew each other and they were going to come back next week. That's what did it for me. So they're going to say, I really liked the, and during that end of the meeting, when Mitch is done or Scott is done or Tamara's done, and the room gets a little chaotic, lock your focus into them. Okay. When you're sitting down next to them and you're looking at them, and then there's people moving behind you, they're moving chairs or grabbing stuff, whatever, people you haven't seen in a while. I know it's tempting to go up and look, but keep your eyeballs on them because they're going to put their eyeballs back on you. As soon as you look up past them, then they're going to want to, what are you looking at? And you're going to break the concentration. So look at them, smile, pleasant face, high energy. I know it's 9:30, 10 o'clock sometimes, but heck, we make most of our money between 10 p.m. and midnight on Thursdays and Fridays. So they're going to tell you what you liked. Then you're going to say, well, I guess we've got to get you, and then say the thing back to them. I really like the whole thing. I just need to find the money. Great. Well, then I guess we just got to get you the money. Let's go. What did you like best about what you saw? Oh, I really like that pocket square tie combination that the speaker had. Just kidding. They never say that. They're going to say, I like the community. I really like that velocity banking thing. When we go back and we look at the #1 income earners, the history of Renatus, right? There's been Richard Stock, Scott Rowe, Nate Lambert, Michael Huggins, Mitch Nelson. I think Dr. G won at one time. back in like 2016. Anyway, when we go back and look at the top income earners, and those are just the number ones. Remember, there's also the top 5 each year, so there's dozens of reference points. The majority of us have closed combos because of velocity banking and the line of credit process, which is one reason why we emphasize it so much. It's such a great closer. It's so practical. They don't need to go and do a deal. They can start right away. So what's more likely than not going to be the answer is I like velocity banking. And then you're going to say, well, great. I guess we've got to get you set up with some HELOCs. I guess we got to get you set up on velocity banking. Yes, we do. Great. Well, let's set up a strategy session with my advisor, with my coach, with my mentor. Okay. And then what I want you to do is get their appointment on your calendar first. Lock in the appointment before you get up out of your seat. Grab your calendar. You look at my calendar. Let's see. Let's set up a one-on-one. Are you available tomorrow? The answer it needs to be tomorrow or Saturday. Okay. Here's something you might not know. Let me go to the printer here. Here's something you might not know. Okay. Here is a fancy piece of paper. Did you know you cannot fold this piece of paper more than 7 times? It doesn't matter if the piece of paper is this big or this big. I don't know why, but paper cannot be folded more than 7 times. And now what happens is, let's say I'm going to fold in half once. Every day that you wait to do a follow-up with someone, their interest is cut in half. Remember, most people live in, unfortunately, a state of doubt, a state of fear, a state of uncertainty. And they're going to go back to those old habits. So the next day, half again. I've done 2 folds and I'm already a quarter interested. 2 days. 3 days. Now I'm an 1/8 interested. Oh, awesome. Okay. I folded it 3 times, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5, 6. Good luck on the 7th. Okay, it's as thick as my finger now. But some crazy plumber with incredible grip strength might get 7. I got 6 in a bend. Okay, now what's interesting is it doesn't matter the size of the sheet. That's all you get. So my point is, when you are getting their appointment set, don't set it out a week. 7 folds, you're done. Every day. So what would have to happen is if you did end up setting it out a week, you would have to get their interest and their excitement all the way back up to where it was Thursday night in order to proceed. You have to unfold the whole paper all over again. Does that help? Does that make sense? Sweet. And we just got a special guest to join us today. Right on, right on. So if that made sense, then we'll keep it going. Awesome. Well, hey, folks, special guest in the house, Mr. Eric Counts, GM. I was blown away by his training at Nationals, and then I got to visit him on my cross-country road trip back home, and we had a blast, and I thought, you know what? Would you spend a little more time with my team talking about your presentation from Nationals? Now, I do have to go in 15 minutes, but the call can stay and go as long as we need to with Eric. When he talked about the different levels of communication internally and externally and how organizations grow, I got inspired. I really am impressed with what he's done. Not just the money that he's made, but the systems behind the money, so that he can goof off. He can live his best life ever, and the value still gets created, and the money still comes. So he's been a great example to us throughout the decade or so that he's been a part of our organization. So if you haven't met him, folks, this is our good friend from Arkansas, Mr. Eric
Right
Cal.
across the river from Tennessee.
Yeah, buddy.
Michael, I want to start, man. It was so cool of you to stop by the house and hang out. I hope you know that I had a blast hanging out with you for the night and getting to show you around my little corner of the town.
Absolutely.
So now I've been to your town
Yep.
and you've been to
Yep.
mine.
It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
So part of what I started talking about at Nationals and something that's really shaped the direction of how I've been running my business and then how we're, as we launch into this new direction that we're going is this concept of trust, this trust recession. And what I have found personally from I run ads, we do I spend thousands of dollars a month on Facebook ads, and the biggest thing that you have to overcome on every customer, and I'm going to show this because it just happened and it just happened to work out, is the message that I just got is, do you guys have an office? Yes, we're located here. Are you in the United States and are you United States people? And where I said, yes, we're, whatever. And then it's like, the questions are always, is this a scam? Is this legitimate? How do I know you're real? So what I started thinking about was, man, if I'm not selling based on value or price, what's missing? What's the next thing? And I've realized it's trust. When I read a book a long time ago called Why Clients Buy. Great book. It's got a white cover with a big black circle on the front and then white letters inside that says Why Clients Buy. And I started that book and it comes across these things that they in the book call the 7 buying elements. And I latched onto that concept hard because what we're all looking for in trainees or business owners or whatever, we're looking for lists. I like to look for lists, and I can hold those 7 buying elements up and I see them and they see them as awareness, interest, understanding, belief, trust, ability, and readiness. Awareness, interest, understanding, belief, trust, ability, and readiness. And I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no other things. If somebody doesn't buy from you, one of those things is missing. If they don't buy, one of those 7 things is missing. And if you can identify which one's missing, you can kind of understand which direction to take the conversation or how to talk to that person or speak to that person differently. And for a lot of the online sales, it was trust. And I went through the whole training at E3, so I'm not going to, rehash just the whole thing. But really grasping onto this missing trust factor was what turned a corner for us a little bit. So online, how many of you guys know that a bunch of the stuff online is scams?
Yeah.
You know that to be true, right? Like you can't sit out there and say, yeah, but there's a bunch of scams out there and we're the good thing. Well, the customer doesn't know which is which. The customer, when they see you compared to this other thing, and there's always another thing, we don't have, sure, Carla, absolutely. Awareness, interest, understanding, belief, trust, ability, and readiness. Awareness, they cannot buy if they don't know you exist. Guys, this is the reason, like when you see Mitch and Maley doing so well, everybody knows what they do, don't they? Nobody doesn't know because, man, Maylee is out there. She's posting, she's reels, she's TikTok, she's stories, she's posts, she's got it covered. Everybody knows what they do. That's awareness. You got to get good at awareness or else nobody knows that you exist. Interest, the next one, interest is you're looking for a type of person that's interested. You don't want to spend massive amounts of time. This is a mistake that I believe we make when somebody will say, oh, well, who is Renatus for? Or who is your thing for? Who is it for? And we want to answer that question this way. Oh, everybody. It's for everybody. Well, if your thing is for everybody, how do I sell it to anybody? I can't position my product. I can't position my offer in a fair and forward way that says this is what we are and this is how we help you if I haven't defined that somewhat. And what we can do is we can figure out different ways that our product fits for that person, but we're having to spark an interest. And the mistake that I see people make, and this is always, of course, please remember, just an opinion from watching you guys. One mistake that I personally see is people instead of sparking interest, they want to skip straight over to a deeper level of understanding and try to teach. They want to teach the material. And they'll say, this is an example. Here you go. I'll see people post like this. Did you know that you can roll your 401k and self-directed and then capital gains and then it's just some big old thing. And here's when you do that and you go too far into the explanation, then what happens is you've either made it to a point where the basic average person doesn't understand what you're talking about anymore, so it loses interest that way, or you're only talking to people that already understand that and aren't really looking for help. So instead of that direction of, did you know you can this and that and all these things, then I like to post more like, did you know that more of your money goes to taxes than any other expense in your life? If you want to pay less, let's talk. Interest. I'm just trying to spark a little bit of interest. Getting them to the meetings is where they grasp understanding. So our job as ICMs is awareness and interest. Let people know you exist and what you do, and then spark a little bit of interest, and then get them in front of people. Get them in front of, Michael Huggins. Get them in front of Mitch. Get them in front of whoever is on your, you get it. Whatever meeting you're using. Get them in front of people and say, yes, get a really good understanding of our group, of what we do, of this, of that. And then that's where they're going to get the understanding. The next thing that's left in that order is belief and trust. And belief and trust, in my opinion, aren't the same thing. I can believe a person is telling me the truth, but still not trust that person. Right? Well, you know what I'm talking about. People that you just, I don't know. Like you've got somebody that you know in your life, probably, we all do. Let's all be humans together for a minute. There's somebody in your life that you have nothing against, but they don't click with you, right? You're like, I don't know about that person. Like I've got nothing bad to say, but I don't know. And that's just human nature. That happens sometimes. I can also trust the person, but not believe the thing's going to work. Like if I'll poke him because I love him. Jerry Ruffin was on this big health thing with this stuff that he was selling, and it was a thing he was part of. And I love him and I trust him. I don't think he would ever purposefully deceive me. I trust him, but I didn't believe the thing was going to work. That's belief and trust. Do I have a belief that it's going to work, but also do I trust the person? And where we have really fallen off, in my opinion, as an economy and as society, is we're in a trust recession. So we're getting to this place where I don't know if I can click on that link. I'm scared of you. I'm scared of you, Mr. Business. I'm scared of you, guru. I'm scared of you, advertiser. I'm scared of the store. I'm a consumer that's scared to shop. At E3, I did a really cool example of this where I put 5 golden chalices on the screen, and I said, you got to pick one. You have to pick one. And everybody picked, and then it was like one of them was poisoned. And how many of you picked this one? And a whole bunch of people picked. Yeah, did you, Don? A lot of people, mathematically, a lot of people, when you put 5 options up and you tell them to pick randomly, the most common picked is 4. But so I poisoned 4 on purpose, just so you guys know. But I said one of them was poisoned. And imagine if you were truly at some crazy example where there would be one poisoned cup out of 5 and you were told to choose. You would be scared to pick any of them. Even if only 20% was poisoned, you would still be scared to choose because that's a big risk. And then the next slide was just, okay, now which one of these 5 gurus is going to take all your money and run away? Which one of the 5 gurus on screen is the scam? You don't know. And the thing that we have to remember is we know how good our product is. We know that Bob Snyder's so great. We know that we try to be in people's best interests. We know that the courses are really there. We know that the instructors are really who they say they are. We know all of that stuff. The customers don't. And the only way to overcome the trust factor is to treat them really well and treat them fair. And at no point do you lose the trust along the way. Here's the way that you lose it early. Don't call that person when you said that you would, right? Here's what you do. You're going to make a great agreement with one of your good friends that you're going to do a training at 9:30 and you're going to text him at about 9:40. That's a good way to lose some trust, right? I was late this morning. Is that going to be good for mine and Michael's relationship? Now, mine and Michael's relationship is long and past and strong. He's not going to not be friends with me over 10 minutes. But I've got a hold there. I've got a good relationship already built there. Imagine if this was my first time offering to meet with Michael and I'm late. Imagine if it's the first time I'm offering to show somebody something and I don't call back, or I don't show up when I say I do, or I show them the thing and it's not what I told them. I believe this. I believe warm market people, your friends and your family and stuff like that, warm market people are looking for a reason to stay, and cold market people are looking for a reason to leave. So when I'm cold market, I'm looking around going, how do I find something that tells me this is a scam? This is a scam. Oh, and they go, there's one tiny thing right there. Boom. I knew it was a scam. Found it. I'm out of here. Because they're looking to find something to tell them that it's a scam because they're scared. They're scared of businesses. Why are they scared of businesses? Because they keep buying stuff online and they show up and it's not what they were told. Or they buy something online and they log in and it's not what they were told. And they buy a thing and it's not what they were told. It's not so much that they're mad at the world. They're just tired of giving people their money in exchange for not what they were told. I don't mind giving you my money. Just give me what you said. And so many times when they actually give out their money, the thing they get is it's not what they were told. And that is, in my belief, one of our biggest struggles in marketing and in sales, especially in the online marketing world. So how are you building trust? How are you making sure that you show people that you're going to do what you say? How are you making sure that they feel comfortable with you so that they will even remotely feel comfortable with your product?
Yeah, well said.
That's guys, no joke. I'm not, when I tell you that this is what I do, this is what I do. So, in our, I know that we do this a little different, and I know you guys hear me 1 second. I promise I'm not trying to talk about our thing over here, but when I say how I do, when we break down our trust elements in our group, I want people understanding that this isn't just what we say. This is right here. I want to know, how do we create awareness? How do we create an interest? How do we create understanding? How do we create belief and trust? How do we help with ability? How do we make sure that we're there when they are ready? And that is so, so important. So I want you to take those. You're not my people, right? I'm just here as a guest. But if I'm talking to you and I'm going to say, hey, take on something, I want you to write down those 7 elements and ask yourself, how am I helping my customer make sure that all those 7 elements are there? How are they there? How do I create awareness? Am I creating enough awareness? Talk to more people, right? How am I sparking interest? How do I help them understand what we do? How do I make sure that they have the best chance of believing us and trust us? How do I help them the most with creating an ability to purchase? And then am I going to be there for them when they are ready? So there you go.
Perfect. Well, folks, take it from I'm going to say self-made, but I know he also like puts it out there that a lot of people helped him, but from the ground up, first generation millionaire, Eric Counts. So thank you for your great example. We do have a question from Ms. Zen. Go ahead.
Actually, just something I noticed patterns. So I just want to say thank you, Eric. This was amazing. The 7 elements. I'm actually about to teach a Qigong class about elements. So this is perfect. There's 7 chakras and each one coincides with one of the chakras. Like it makes complete sense. Readiness would be connected to spirit. Awareness would be root. So everyone in between. So that's just amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's profound.
Great. Remember, I'm sharing, guys. The book is called Why Clients Buy. We all love to share information. I like to always quote my source at best, but Why Clients Buy was a great book for me. So if you're looking to check one out.
Awesome. Well, thank you for
Eric,
your
I found how clients buy. Is that the same book, black and white writing?
Yep. My apologies. Is it it's a black circle on the front?
Yes, I put
How
the link in
clients
the
buy.
chat.
Yes. There you
Thank
go.
you.
Cool. All right, folks. Well, another example of this amazing communities. When you're inviting people to come and join us, just let them know they got nationwide support from experts in every category. Thanks again, Eric, for taking some time to be with us. And
no, thank you guys. Always.
Just keeps getting better. Okay, everyone, I got to jump. Go get some work done, and I will see you guys on the Founders Live in just a little bit. Bye for now. Mwah.
Thanks, everyone.